Hall is present.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Say your
Physically.
name, please. Thank you. Mark? Sommer?
Sommer Zugay, present.
Barbara Bosler?
I'm here.
And then yourself. And myself, Lauren Smothers. So we approve the board for call, roll call?
Yes, we have a quorum.
All right.
So now somebody needs to, one of the board members needs to make a motion to go into closed session per section 610.021, subsection 12 of the revised Missouri statutes for sealed proposals and related documents.
I move.
A first and a second. And I
Okay.
ask for, now you need to do the roll call vote, and you have to go through everybody and ask them individually.
Secretary does.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Lauren Smothers,
Yes.
Barbara Brosler,
Yes.
Sommer Zugabe,
Yes.
Mark Buckite,
Yes.
Jeffrey Duvall,
Yay.
Yes.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are the all favors.
Okay, perfect.
So they can just take the 20 minutes I thought it would take to close session and triple it, and that makes it all done.
All right. Welcome back. Okay. Need a motion to approval of minutes?
I move to approve the
And I
minutes.
second.
Okay. Public Works.
Public Works,
Oh, I forgot to
Not
post it.
here.
since no one is present, I'm sure they're busy with other items, things that were going on.
What do you need to
That's
know?
right.
I pretty much know what's going on.
What's going on?
What do you want to give us
Yeah,
a
what
quick
have you been up
rundown?
to?
Trying to make the park look good. Hopefully we're about done mowing, then we'll get to work on repairing any kind of park benches, painting. You know, there's numerous items. I can go around that park all day long and just make this fun. So hopefully start knocking some of that stuff out over the winter months once mowing stops.
Any trees down because of the
No,
severe wind?
we rarely had any limbs down.
We
went
didn't
through
have
and
that
picked
much
up.
wind.
We went through and picked up tree limbs today in Fair Market and barely had a pickup truck full. So,
Also cleaned
We
out
got
the
lucky.
basement of the park house.
yes, took two dump truck loads of stuff out of the shop and the park house basement.
Are the
So-
Valley Springs bathrooms open?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that tree come down over by the soccer fields yet?
No.
No, okay.
Anything else?
You guys have anything? Any suggestions for the parks?
Just there's a lot of widowmakers in Valley Springs. That really,
That's gonna need to be probably hired out by a company. We have them in Pinkley Park too. There's a couple trees that have some massive limbs that if they come down on somebody, it ain't gonna be
right.
good. So,
We had done a walkthrough before, and it's easier to tell, of course, in the spring when everything's leafed out compared to what's not leafed out.
Yeah.
But John had just kind of mentioned not to mark anything because that raises attention to people that aren't familiar with trees that need to be felled and just, you know, cutting down trees, because we're all for loving trees. You know, nobody wants to cut down anything that's not necessary.
no, I think if they're just trimmed up, properly maintained, they'd be all right. But yeah, there's a few trees that I've seen that got some branches that
Yeah, that really needs.
completely dead, and if they decide to fall, hopefully nobody's underneath them.
And how does that happen? How do we get moving on that? Because that's something serious. How does that?
Just put it on the schedule with everything else.
All right.
So, yeah.
That would definitely be something that the street department or the parks department wouldn't be able to, I mean, you need companies with boom lifts and trained individuals to take some of those branches down, especially at Pinkley. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking branches that when they hit the tree are this big around, so.
So you have an infrastructure line item in your budget.
Mhm.
Do you want us to,
I think it really needs to be addressed.
I agree, there's quite a few of them.
so I think what we're looking at is needing a motion and a second, and then a vote of this board can move forward with that. And,
Well, I make a motion that we use that line to do some tree removal and tree, just maintenance. Let's
Yeah,
just
get
call it
that
tree
stuff
maintenance.
out, yeah.
I'll second.
I think it's better than a lawsuit down the road from something falling on somebody.
Well, this weather lately too. I mean, it's kind of, the other day when I was at Valley Springs, I'm like, this isn't very smart to be underneath all these trees.
Yeah,
So,
when it's windy,
yeah.
I don't suggest it. Just getting pelted with pecans, acorns.
Yeah, that's right. Is it that line? Right
$8,000,
there?
yep. That's got money in there for the trails.
That's it.
Okay.
That'll update you on here in a minute. So we've got a
All in
motion,
favor?
yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
All opposed?
Thank you for that. All right, moving on to old business. Master plan. Well, this master plan,
Mhm.
still the same, everything all right on that? Fundraising committee,
Well,
So that's where, if you want us to ask some more questions,
yeah.
I think your question was, what would a proposed contract look like to start with? And we've had discussions with the Rome group that was the only group to submit, but fundraising committee recommended that we continue talks with the Rome group because felt that they answered the questions, came back with the right answers with the RFQ. They were pretty
Detailed.
detailed, yeah. and
Thorough and-
Fit our fundraising for St. Genevieve County. It wasn't anything too over the top. So we can at least ask for that, and we'll bring it back at the next board meeting.
I think that's fair.
yes.
Is there any other questions? So we get them
All at one time?
all at one time.
I think we pretty much covered our questions. And I think if we just let it resonate for a little bit, we'll come up with some more questions for the next time we discuss it, which will be,
Yes.
I'd like to see us make a decision, send it to the board, at least by the end of the year.
I
Because
agree.
Because if we're gonna do this, they're gonna have to get on it.
Sooner is better than later.
And we're gonna, if we sit around every meeting going, do we wanna do that or not? We're never gonna get it done. And like a lot of things, don't get done because we can't commit. So if we can just get the contract, if that's what everybody is wanting to know, and as far as paying them goes, I mean,
That should be all in the contract, correct?
it's,
Well, we'll define it better that way,
Right.
so we can see what those numbers.
We just need to know, we need to know what we're getting ourselves into
And-
before we just go start.
and that if there is
signing.
a opt-out clause or,
There always
whatever.
is an opt-out clause
Okay.
for a city because of the nature of our business.
Okay,
Because we have a new board every year.
Yeah.
So, and it works for both sides. If
Okay.
there's something that they don't like that we're doing or something that they're doing that we don't like, you have a chance to
Okay.
get out.
Is a contract by the November meeting asking too much?
A proposed
A
contract,
proposed contract, yes.
I think what it'll be as a template, I don't think it'll be the finished contract.
That's okay.
Because the board of aldermen will have final say as to
Right.
what the
Oh, yeah.
contract looks like.
okay.
Sounds good.
So,
Let's see, do the major question for the fundraising committee.
Yeah.
So for trail committee, I have not heard anything from DNR on the RTV grant that we submitted. Talked to Nick and Mary Donsley on Saturday. They were out at the Rural Heritage Days. They're going to follow up. I've sent an email, but I haven't heard anything. The understanding was if we got any of the trail grant money, we would be notified by September. We're at the end of October. My feeling is that we did not get anything. But because of COVID, you don't know if there's other delays that they haven't notified anybody about. So I don't know if they tell you one way or the other. They just said they would notify those that we'll receive the money by end of September, so.
Question on the trail. Are we going to get some engineering done on this so we know, I'm gonna say, not exactly what it's gonna cost, but within a good ballpark, what it's actually going to cost?
So we ballparked it.
Yeah,
And then for the trail grant, you have to get engineering done.
okay.
So we will then have engineering done, but we've already estimated what the total cost is.
Which was
Wasn't
what
that
again?
Blacktop though? Wasn't that a Bowman quote?
No,
it's
we based it on
Walking,
concrete.
walking
10-foot
trail,
wide.
we have
Yeah.
$450,000.
So this is just a section that goes from the big pavilion to the first small pavilion. We're only doing a small run. That's all we've asked for because that's all we have money for.
Okay, but that's not,
But I think she's talking
That's not
about.
the total plan.
no, I was looking at
We
the
have
total.
She's talking about
Yeah, we
the
have
entire
whole
plan.
That was another committee that was supposed to have an engineer look at it, kind of give us some ideas.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
think the number you're looking at was a
This-
Bowman number that was.
This
That
was
was-
a
that
10-foot
was
wide,
just
four,
for asphalt.
10-foot wide, it says 10-foot wide, 4-inch rock base, 4-inch concrete depth, total of 4,330 feet, and includes 200 feet around the pond. So, oh, that included the 200 feet around the pond, so it was 4,130 through the rest of the park, so,
The loop is an 8/10 of a mile.
yeah. So that's
Well, no,
what,
that was based off of the projected master plan.
the mileage will change.
Walkway.
Yeah.
so what you have or put in for a grant was just a small section of this. Okay. But if we're gonna do the whole thing, well, wasn't it John that was supposed to be getting an engineer to take a look at it and see? I think we need that. I think we need to,
Well, it,
We went and
wouldn't
painted
that
it
all
all
like
out.
come in
And
effect
somebody was
with
supposed to
the
come in
Rome
and
group? I mean, if-
look
yeah,
at
but
it.
they're not gonna do the engineering. They're not gonna
No,
find the,
but, I mean, we're gonna have to have all that to get a
yeah.
true fundraising amount, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to know within, and I think what we did is we looked at a price and then we added a percentage to each one of these when we sat down and figured out what, So I think I forgot how much, did we add 20%? Or we added something?
Why don't you add it just on a contingency at the end of it?
Yeah, we added a percentage to each one of these for inflation and whatever. So that's how we got up the
It wasn't a
2.5.
solid percentage. I think we kind of rounded up on some things and whatnot when the fundraising committee met.
Yeah,
I think we were just kind of rounding up and leaving some room for contingencies, but I don't think we set certain percentages for everything.
so,
Now, that 450, was that any kind of groundwork or anything? Because a lot of the places that this trail's wanting to go, you're either gonna have to have big old retaining walls, and then you're gonna have to have handrails, because
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
have a drop off those.
this was
Walking
just
path.
for the
That's
for
just the,
Material,
material, yeah.
and going the distance of,
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's what we had come up, I don't know how we came up with this,
because I thought my
Well,
buddy.
but that was the, what
Yeah,
is
Nick-
in the,
Wasn't Nick the one that had gotten prices per, because I felt like he was the one that came in with those numbers. No?
No, not with those numbers. No, that was bounding around with this board.
yeah,
That was the cost
was-
of the trail.
Because I thought your friend said, was it 400,000? I think is what your friend said.
I thought it was more, I thought it was closer to 5, but it's been
Or
a
was-
while.
Or was
Yeah.
4 the one that John got for?
well, we had
And it
400,
was just
I
doing,
thought this was like
it was doing
250.
existing
I
trail.
did too. I thought it was in
10-foot
the
wide
threes.
yeah, this
concrete.
was 450,000.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
Yeah,
that
but
was
that's
our,
not
that was a
enough.
starting,
No master
No.
plan.
no, and that's a starting point
Yeah.
Right.
to get you going on these things. And
It may be
figure out
another
phasing.
100,000 on there,
But
you know.
depends if we're doing it with that.
So you have to-
That's why we need
Keep
some,
in mind, some of that's gonna be in kind, it's not all the contractors, so if we're digging it out and then laying the rock in, and you're just having a company come in and pour the concrete, you do it pretty quickly, pretty easily. So that can save some of the money, so there is some in kind that'll be built into that. And that 450,000, that would be above and
Are we
beyond.
still trying to do it under government
Yeah.
grade laws and all that stuff too?
oh, yeah.
It depends, as long as it meets what the ADAAG requires, and that in a trail and a park system is not as stringent as it would be on a house, on a new building construction.
It's existing.
Right, because you have existing grades, you can manipulate those grades only so much, or it becomes totally.
Well, see, that's what I'm worried
out of
about,
cost.
because I'm worried about this new trail, how Nick wants it, or how he designed it. You're gonna just totally rework the landscape of the park, trying to make these walking paths work. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if you can only have a certain amount of grade on concrete, you got hills everywhere.
That's what he was just saying, you can manipulate it if it's not,
Right.
if it's
Right,
going
because you have an
in.
existing grade, you can then follow that grade. You may have to slow it down after 12 feet, get a 5-foot landing, and
Yeah.
continue it.
Yeah.
But you don't have to make it less than 8%, say. Yeah, because that's not it's the same as, you couldn't do that with a street.
Yeah.
If you have a grade that's 12%, sorry, it's 12% to a certain point, you have to go along with that.
Gotcha.
So from what I've read and looked in the RTP manual, they understand that as well, that you're going to have to work with your existing grade and where you can. So if you're going to be connecting it with a bathroom that needs to be handicap accessible, then you need to have your grades at handicap
Because it's a
slopes.
structure.
Right, because they need to make access to that.
Okay.
If it's a pavilion, same thing, you have to make sure, but if it's out in the middle of, connecting different areas, I think.
That's,
you need to-
Yeah,
that's what I had
we're
envisioned, that the whole thing was gonna have to be to grade to a certain code.
there'll be some leeway.
But-
No, you can't do, you just
It's-
can't physically
right.
do that.
In our April minutes, the asphalt bid that we received from your buddy came in around $275,000 to $325,000 for asphalt.
No, it wasn't.
But we said we needed to get a new bid on concrete.
No, my buddy, it was off the record in a parking lot at the old parking house. or the old park house.
Well, right, no, but that's
That was-
what,
That was Bowman, that was what John,
oh, I don't have your name on there, but
Okay.
I'm saying in our thing, it said,
Yeah,
it did
that
not
would've
include
been-
the pond, and it
Yeah.
came to,
That would have come from John, because he was talking concrete with his friend, I believe.
yeah.
Oh, gotcha,
So that
okay.
that was the asphalt bid that I was talking about.
okay,
And I
yeah,
wanted to say Bowman
came up with that, okay.
Did that one. But he forgot to do around the pond.
Oh,
So
yes,
that's-
yes, and that's what it says, that it did not include the loop around the pond,
Yeah, yeah.
so,
Now, you-
but,
Okay. So where are we?
we are on playground.
other than Kendra being there last month, we haven't met to plan.
And I didn't get.
I have it.
Do you?
Yeah, because we were supposed to meet and then we weren't able to, and so
Do you want them across the street?
I can tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
I'll leave them there, because I will be in and out of the
Okay.
office, but I'll leave them
But if
there.
they're just there, then
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
Okay, that'll work.
I'll leave you those.
Okay. Bathrooms? Was that, nothing new on the bathrooms yet, but here we go, back to the
They need
bathrooms
to
again.
be.
Is there a time of year where they close
Gary-
downspace bathrooms?
Gary said last month that it was like the beginning of November, wasn't
Is
it?
it daylight savings time? Is that what they try to do, like when the time changes, kind of?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are,
That would be a
what
good
are
way
people
to-
supposed to
No,
do
I thought
about
they
going to
closed
the
them down
bathroom?
right after the Christmas something or other.
Well, the risk is that you have pipes freeze. And
Yeah.
they're-
Right, but I get that,
For,
but my pipes don't freeze.
I know, but.
But you have heat going on. We'd
like
have to
Main-
start heating our
Main Street
bathrooms.
Park, they stay open year round.
Valley and the Montreal Marquette, we have to close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because those are so less frequently used.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get all that, but what are people supposed to do by having to go to the bathroom?
Go to roads.
It's,
I don't know, shouldn't we have a porta potty there or something?
It's funny.
Just-
And I was gonna say, if we're paying to have them clean, they're probably still better than,
Yeah.
like Jeff said, some of the
No
bathrooms
kidding.
that we currently have.
Just a thought, okay.
I've been hand cleaning those bathrooms now for a couple weeks, and they're cleaner than what
What they were. I haven't had to go to
Oh,
use one
it's
yet,
on
so.
record,
Cleaner than
'cause-
they've been in years.
Yeah,
I
don't
would
doubt that.
contest to that. I
there's
tried-
something going on this last month, I'm telling you what.
As in,
I don't know, the bathroom situation everywhere.
oh,
Anyway.
all
Well, that was the
handles and
TikTok thing they
stuff.
brought up
Oh,
last.
yeah, we talked about that, the TikTok challenge thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that too, but I'm just talking about oral.
My high school kids
Oral.
were trying to tell me that another new challenge is to find the bathrooms that were damaged and actually fix them.
Aw,
Or
that-
Well, that would be
that'd be
good.
nice.
A few of them are doing that, and I was like,
what about build them new?
I don't know about that. I'd like to
So
see
that's
that.
not TikTok, that's Talk Tick.
Whatever it is,
I like that one.
we'll take it.
Okay, let's move on, folks.
Let's do that.
New business, Kendra was here, missed that,
They, well, I'll tell you, Lauren, wait till you see some of the stuff they have.
that's why I can't wait to see this.
It's awesome, you know, even like something like the adventure playground stuff we talked about, really, you're gonna be really happy with it.
Did you get a copy of all the stuff that she gave?
No,
No,
Because
we
you can have
weren't,
mine, I have a stack.
I
I'll
have
let you-
her, I have copies for
Okay.
I
her,
gave
yeah.
all mine to her, yeah.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowing, some of the new stuff, oh my gosh.
yeah, well, I go online a lot, but I rather have, I like,
In your hand, yeah.
yes, I do. Has anyone spoke with Travis?
I talked to him, I think about 3 weeks ago. I ran into him and he said, as long as we can set up a Zoom type meeting, he's good. Yeah, so he basically does construction, but he does it out of state. And so that would be his issue, they wouldn't be here physically, but if we do
So
the
is
Zoom
Travis
thing.
number 8 or is Travis number 9?
Number 8, because Amy resigned.
Yeah,
So we're still looking for one.
yeah.
And so if you wanted to pursue Zoom meetings, you would need to have them here,
Yeah.
moving
Right.
forward.
Right.
And that way, a Zoom link could be provided to Travis for
Right.
meetings.
Okay, is this always available
No,
But
on
right?
Mondays?
Mondays.
you have to
Mondays it is?
make sure you stay with your set time.
Okay,
Whatever you decide, according to the calendar, if we're gonna stay at 7 o'clock on Mondays, you know,
Okay.
we can't switch it last minute if we want Travis.
right, so that's up to Travis then? Do you have a way to get a hold of
I can get
Travis
ahold
to
of
make sure?
Travis.
Okay. I was just curious if that's the way it's gonna be, if we can meet here every Monday,
Is-
So
is
does-
the-
every meeting.
Is the board open to meeting here on Mondays and having a board member attend by Zoom?
It's fine with
I'm
me.
for it.
Yeah, that's
If it
fine.
means more people can attend,
Right.
and,
I just wanted to be clear for,
Yeah.
for
Right.
board
Now-
member
Then it-
purposes.
Well,
Yeah.
and, yeah,
And depending on what you just said, do we want to keep it at 7 o'clock?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
6 is hard, I mean, for me,
No, no,
but,
that's fine.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't matter. I mean,
7's great.
I don't know, are they always gonna go to 8:30?
no, usually we're out of here by 8.
Going,
No,
getting
this
into my
this is un.
I
bedtime.
know, that's what I'm thinking too.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
next one
7
was,
o'clock on the fourth
we were-
Monday.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe a glass of wine or.
the next bullet was discussing
well,
the,
and maybe John,
Zoom meeting.
John,
Carol,
no,
doesn't matter.
But with talking about the dates,
President?
Yeah,
and
maybe you
perhaps
could
this is
make
under
it a
other
little-
business, but you kind
Oh.
of, I think some of you have already been thinking about it, and you've said in the past that you've not met in December. I just encourage you tonight to determine the remaining meetings for this year for regular schedule. The November meeting is set to be Thursday, November 22nd.
That's what I was looking at.
That is the Monday before Thanksgiving. So are you committed to wanting to meet that day?
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
fine with it.
I'm fine with it, I'm
Yeah, we're
You guys good with it?
I'm on
not going
vacation.
anywhere.
Okay.
I'm on vacation.
Vice President?
Just make
Barb's
sure-
on vacation, so everybody good with that?
I may be on vacation. I haven't decided if I'm gonna take that week or a different week. but-
Just making sure, and then the December meeting would be on the 27th. Are you guys
I'm on
looking to
vac- I'm
cancel
on
that so
vacation
it's
that
on
week.
record?
I'm working.
Well, I was possibly thinking
or
maybe,
moving it.
you know how we don't have one typically, we can do it at any Monday if we,
Right,
we
but-
usually discuss that around this time, our December
But I
meeting.
think-
It's better to
I
discuss open it.
I think we should go ahead and have a meeting in December.
I do too, especially so we can just keep the ball rolling.
Can we do it the third Monday, just to be?
Well, that's what-
We have
Yeah,
Heritage Commission that night.
Okay.
I didn't bring mine.
Great. I'll be here anyway.
There's a hockey-
Okay, wait a minute, what's the third Monday?
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, that's the 13th.
1, 2, 3,
No, 20th. Heritage Commission meets from 6 to 7. Sometimes they end early.
Yeah, our last few have been like really super short, but
What about the 13th? I mean, can we, this far ahead, we could change it, could we not?
Well, and
Yeah.
as long as you commit to having the November meeting, you can decide December at November.
Right.
It's just if you were gonna cancel it, I was gonna encourage you to do that tonight if you knew for sure you weren't gonna have a meeting in December,
Well, actually, I was gonna bring that up
so.
towards the
have
end here, like what we're gonna do in December if we
But-
were to do our.
Well, I meant also if you weren't gonna have a November meeting or move that around. I just wanted you to get you thinking about this on record and stuff. So if you're committed to having the November 22nd meeting, you can decide December's meeting that evening.
we'll have one on the 22nd.
Of November.
November 22nd, yes.
That is the next meeting date.
Yes. And we're moving forward with holding meetings here, the fourth
Yes.
Monday at 7 to allow members to attend by Zoom.
yes.
Okay.
Good.
What information do you need from Travis? Just an
It'll-
email?
The information will be on his agenda on how to zoom in.
Okay.
He'll have to put the meeting number and the passcode
Yeah.
instead of
All
just a
right.
link.
But do you have contact information for him, like email or anything?
I have to ask Pam, I don't know. I would
I-
think we do because we had to send it out tonight, or for tonight.
Yeah.
She has his, I would double check that she has all the
I'll-
members,
I'll
because I
get- I'll get hold-
know
I'll get hold of Pam
she had
tomorrow.
messaged me and asked if I could email out the packets to everybody, just in case somebody didn't get it by mail. And she didn't have Jeff's email for some reason either, so I made sure that I got
She
everything.
had one for Travis.
I don't
I'll
know.
get-
She
I'll-
didn't
I'll
mention
get
him,
hold
and
of
I
him.
didn't have one for him, so I could
Okay.
not send
I'll
it
get
to
a hold of her
him.
tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so.
So if you can forward everybody, if you got a
Yeah, I have it in like a document too for my binder, just so I had it handy. I'll just send her my thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
he doesn't.
And that's why we keep you around.
That's right.
Actually, did you want anything, did you need to say anything else or want anything?
I think just before we close the meeting, just reminding everybody, this Saturday we have a movie in the park with Hocus Pocus. It's the final one scheduled for the year. I'm unable to attend on Saturday due to prior commitment. So Sam and Lauren, we're going to be doing
And
it, but
Lauren's
has
not
to work now.
attending now, so
So
I will be.
if anybody is willing to help Sam out, and setting it up or
I heard that, Mark.
helping
You gotta
with
follow
concessions
I
and
just
stuff
thought
like
about
that.
something.
What? Yeah.
It'll start about 4 o'clock. Movie probably, that's when they'll set up activities and concession and stuff. Movie would probably start around 6:30. I think that's when it's gonna be about dark enough for the screen.
Yeah.
So figure about hour and a half to 2 hours for the movie, whatever it is, I don't remember.
I do have 25 pumpkins coming too, that will be.
Tell me where to pick them up.
We got
I
a
will.
partner engagement.
So if anyone out there in TV land is watching and would like to come and help volunteer to help people paint the pumpkins or anything at the park, that would be great. People, okay? They'll be at Save a Lot coming in. I'll let you know
Okay,
sometime this week when you said.
sounds good. And Ashley, you still have all the paint and paintbrushes?
Yeah. And I should be able to pop in early to help set up a little bit,
Okay.
but I won't be able to stay with you.
See, I
That's-
will be able to too. I can do that on my split. I
Okay,
just have to be back before.
yeah, before craziness.
Yes.
Okay.
Worst case, you guys come out and watch a movie, right?
Yes,
It's
a
gonna be
movie.
cold.
You
Bring
don't
your
know
blankets.
It'll
that.
be decent. Be warmer than what?
You don't know that.
It's gonna
Do we
be
have,
a
do we
nice,
have
I
food
have
set up for the
61
event?
on Saturday.
Say that again.
Do we have food arranged? for
Yeah,
that?
so Lauren Ciros is going to do, I guess I needed to get with you tomorrow anyway, pizzas. You have a pizza warmer that I can still use? And we were told as long as we just ask for donations versus charge, then we were good.
Okay.
So that is how we will run it.
Awesome.
That might be more
And
money
then-
off donations.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then I will do hot chocolate. I'll have that offered as well.
Do you need a thing
Yes.
still?
Yes, please.
That was on my list.
And then I'll get with Gary to get me tables and some
Extension cord?
extension cords. And we still have leftover snacks and candy and everything else from previous ones, so I think we'll be good.
Is anybody from the library helping you out? Is Sean helping?
Yeah, so Sean comes every time to man the screen and sound system and stuff like that. So, and he usually stays unless he has a prior commitment, but I think he plans on staying.
But he stays with the screen
Yeah.
and the audio visual equipment.
Yeah, but then otherwise it'll be my husband, my wonderful husband.
You said that on the record.
Yes. And my children, they have learned to count money doing change, so it's been a
Too
good,
bad we couldn't get scouts involved or something. Anything,
There's not many of those left.
community help, that'd be awesome. Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
I second.
All right, meeting's adjourned.
All right.